It was a really good moment. But
Aye, but I haven't actually watched it. I didn't watch past
actually the very last episode is good.
Right, Constantine. We talked about this earlier.
Love it,
Constantine's green. Let the series announced as being in the scripting stage back in September. Deadline is now reporting that NBC has ordered a pilot for Constantine based on the DC Comics Vertigo character written by David Goyer. Oh my God! Rips off everybody. And Daniel Cerrone, the Mentalist, has thought that the new series will use the new 52 Constantine as its basis. Created by Alan Moore, John Constantine is a rogue magician, detective conman. First appeared during the author's run on Swamp Thing in 1985, received his own series Hellblazer until DC's Vertigo imprint in 1988. The book was relaunched as part of DC's new 52 continuity, and Constantine received a younger take on the anti-hero. Constantine was also brought to the big screen, blah blah blah, with Keanu Reeves. Guillermo del Toro has confirmed recently in November that he was still working on a script based on DC's Justice League Dark, tentatively titled Dark Universe, that could include Constantine as a character of this new TV series. Yeah, I want this to be good. Again,
the Dresden Files TV series was good.
I liked
but
it.
It kind of
starred the police chief from
Arrow.
Yeah.
But something happened. It just didn't pick up. Supernatural is good, but it's not this dark.
Mm-hmm.
Constantine is a cross between those two things. And very dark. I mean, it's like the movie. He's not meant to be a likable character.
Yeah.
And he's very practical. I mean, it's Alan Moore. He's real world stuff.
Like, this has to be Dexter level of dark. Like, this has to be real.
Yeah.
Keep the kids the hell away from the TV for the next 45 minutes kind of TV show.
I would say so. And I don't know if a TV series... Well, NBC, they do programs like that.
Mm.
So we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. But that one I'm excited about.
Can we see this being part of the DC universe?
Yeah.
Like, if Guillermo del Toro does do that, please give del Toro a superhero movie.
Yeah.
If he does do this Dark Justice League, will this all be part of the DC universe, do you think?
Well, Justice League Dark in the comics is part of the same universe. It just happens to have Constantine, Zatanna...
But will it be in that universe?
Yeah,
they could still make it a separate entity.
No,
will they do that?
I think they'd have to link it in, or at least refer. It doesn't have to be directly there.
Aye,
but there would be, like, you'd have the LexCorp logo, and maybe there would be a scene where the 3 billion people that Superman killed in Man of Steel
graze the news in the background.
Things like that. But it would be nice, and if they do, and you're right, they probably won't do it, but I do hope that if the series picks up and it's accepted, then the actor should be in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same as Arrow, though. I know Stephen Amell's not brilliant, but even just having him as
I like him. I do like him. But I just don't... I can't see him... He just doesn't have the acting chops. You put him against Ben Affleck, forget about it. But anyway, Wonder Woman animated series cancelled before it begins. It's probably not much of a surprise given the character's upcoming big screen debut in Batman and Superman, or again, whatever it's called. Hollywood Reporters confirmed that the CW is no longer developing Amazon, the planned series that would have followed a young Diana of, how do you pronounce that, Themyscira?
Yep.
The product was put on hold in July. Amazon was poised to explore the origins of Wonder Woman's alter ego. The network announced in September 2010 it was teaming with Grey's Anatomy Alan Heinberg to develop the story. The script was being redeveloped in May with heroes. Why does nobody do Wonder Woman right? Or why can they not do Wonder Woman right?
They're stupid. They keep going for the same things over and over, like a reboot of Batman, a reboot of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Because, it's unfortunate, but it doesn't matter how many female comic book buyers or our female moviegoers, the powers that be don't think females can, be lead characters in this sort of fantasy genre.
Mm-hmm.
But it's silly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a guy, and I wouldn't go to see it just because it's one, as in the silly pervy bit. It would be a good character in a good movie. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
But part of me can understand why they don't want to do the cartoon, because it could clash with different origin stories. But people know the difference between a cartoon and a movie, that they can be slightly different characters.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit disappointed by the fact, because the premise for that sounded really good, and it is easier to do cartoon about superheroes because of the budget restraints than it is a movie.
And because you just can take the crazier elements a wee bit easier in that kind of thing.
So, I mean, she was good in... The character was handled really well in Justice League, and even the time she saw in Young Justice. So it can be done, and this would have been a really good segue in, from my point of view. But I think they've decided it's the other way, that, well, if we're going to be the big screen, we shouldn't have anything else first. I think it would have brought people in to the comic, to the cartoon, then they'd want to go to see her in the movie.
Will we see a Wonder Woman standalone movie?
Yeah.
After Gal Gadot in
if she holds her own against the male cast and the movie does well.
Just again, I haven't talked to you, but just Gal Gadot, what do you make of her as Wonder Woman?
She's a good actress, and I know I saw when she was announced, it was like, oh, but she's not big, she's not bulky. Linda Carter she was 6 foot something and stunningly beautiful, but she wasn't muscular.
No.
Sorry, she was fit muscular, like a gymnast muscular.
Aye, but she wasn't.
But she wasn't
kick your
bulky.
ass, yeah.
And this woman's got how long?
She was in the Iranian army for 2 years.
She's fit. That's the thing.
She can do this,
and she's in training. Yeah, there's other people I would like to have seen because I think they've got the one thing I don't think that she's got yet, or maybe she'll do acting it. The kind of presence isn't there. There's a MMA fighter. I've forgotten her name.
I can't remember. Yeah, that's in Fast and Furious 6.
Carreno.
Yeah.
And she's probably going to be in the Expendables if it gets made. She's got that the bodily presence, but maybe her acting isn't as good. So it's that offset.
Just on another note, last week on the show we actually had a piece where Gal Gadot had been talking about getting the role and everything else, and she said in it, which was a role something that me and Sexton hadn't picked up on, and to be honest with you, we didn't know what she meant. She had said about Amazonian warrior women actually only had one breast.
Well, in Greek mythology,
yeah, because they cut one off because of the archer thing. Yeah. So that's what that was. That was we didn't get that reference.
It was so that when you draw the bow back, it didn't get in the way.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he who's in everything. It was nice last month that JGL would be involved in a big screen adaptation of Neil Gaiman's Sandman comic, and now in an interview with IGN he's offered his first comments on the project. Well, they asked him what it drew him to the material. I just love the basic concept of it, just the concept of personifying dream, along with all his brothers and sisters, Seven in his personifying death, personifying destruction, delirium, destiny, desire, despair. I mean, it's just fascinating. I think it's a really cinematic concept. He said, you look at the art of Sandman, it just looks spectacular. I love the big spectacular movies, but oftentimes big spectacular movies just get stuck in a rut. They go down certain paths and end in big explosions or whatever. Sandman has so much opportunity to do something that's on a grand scale, but really unlike your average big grand scale movie, it's the tip of the iceberg. Regarding his tweet on the matter that included the phrase prelude, which many assumed alluded to the first collection of the series, Preludes and what was it? Dreamscapes?
Yeah.
I honestly just wrote that as sort of a pun because the tweet was a prelude to who knows what's to come. Obviously Prelude isn't the title of the first issue, but yeah, nothing is cemented yet, but there's so much potential in the material that's exciting. Though he wouldn't confirm what role he would take in the film, it's said to be both he's set to star and direct, but Levitt has said simply things are early days, very, very early days. Asked if being in The Dark Knight Rises, a Dame to Kill For and soon Sandman, if he felt like he'd done enough comic book stuff, or if the right Marvel project came along, yeah, I don't pay as much attention to the categories or genres of things. I pay attention to the material and what it's about. Does it resonate with me? Does it inspire me? Who are the collaborators? That kind of thing. What do you want to see in a Sandman movie? What Marvel role can see? So, I mean, he's not saying that he won't do a Marvel movie. Does Sandman belong in this DC universe, or is this a standalone thing?
It's standalone.
It's a standalone thing. Okay.
And it's a very difficult... I mean, the comics are brilliant. It's... the way people used to say that Watchmen could not be put to the screen, and they were kind of right, because it just didn't... It wasn't as good on the screen. Mm-hmm. It was still a good movie, but not as good as the books. This is going to be if they get this right, it'll be probably one of the best comic book movies ever made, but it's going to be difficult to get it right. Yeah. The concept, the characters... I mean, if they focus just on death or dream, and the other ones are kind of just peripherals, it might work, but you need that. It's an opera. I don't know. I hope it works because it'd be starting to see that on the big screen.
We talked about this earlier on. Josh Holloway was apparently is being eyed for Aquaman. He was with Sawyer in Lost. The best thing about Lost, Sawyer and Hurley. Yeah, I mean, I think this is all rumour right now. I think this is just, it's a slow news day. Who could be? Yeah, Josh Holloway, he'll do. Considering the fact that he spent so much time in Lost shirtless and wet, Holloway was a perfect choice for Aquaman. This is apparently Brucey. Holloway almost definitely looks the part, and he's edgy. I think he's the best guy if they go with the New 52 route. I don't think Aquaman will be in the movie, though. Batman vs Superman, however, is scripted by David Goyer, blah, 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 blah. Then the next story, Jason Momoa is Aquaman.
Maybe they're both Aquaman.
Ooh. Bit Ant-Man. But there you go. But Momoa has denied being involved in Batman and Superman. See, have you read his quotes here? Jason Momoa has spoke to IGN about the new series The Red Row, which is subject of him being brought up in Man of Steel sequel come up. The actor brushed the rumours off. Maybe that's how it came about. Maybe someone said, you should be in this. And I said, yeah, that would be great. And it just went too far. This kind of sounds a little bit to me like he's scared off.
I mean, he could be... As much as he's not the best actor in the world, he's got the presence.
Yeah.
He could be a very good Aquaman.
Yeah. But he's saying he's definitely not. But there you go.
Because he keeps denying.
Yeah. I don't know.
No.
And he's attached every role.
And he doesn't get many.
No.
Well, Conan.
Apparently he didn't get... What was he was meant to be... what was he? He was supposed to be in Guardians of the Galaxy as one of the characters, but he was asking too much money. because he was on a week's holiday from McDonald's. Right. Kyle Reese casting.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Another Terminator.
It could be good. It could be good. And it's been handled by the guy, Alan Thing, that directed Thor: The Dark World, which I loved. I think this could be good. I think there's a good movie in here.
Okay.
But yeah, the people that are being attached at the minute are Wilson Bethel from Heart of Dixie, Thomas Cockerell from Anzac Girls, Jay Courtney, A Good Day to Die Hard, Boyd Holbrook from Milk, and Sam Reid from Anonymous. Amelia Clark, Dragon Girl from Game of Thrones, is apparently already on board as Sarah Connor. Jason Clarke is in talks to play her son John Connor, and Schwarzenegger is
back as the robot.
Right, this will be the first in a standalone trilogy. Terminator Genesis will be produced by Megan Ellison of Annapurna and David Ellison of Skydance. Blah 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 blah. Attached to Red Screen, Alan Taylor, who's directed Amelia Clarke and HBO fantasy series Game of Thrones, is directing the new film and set to hit theatres around the 2nd of July 2015. Chris Pratt set for Jurassic World. I know. Yeah, the tweet below, which was posted on, the tweet that was posted last Monday, shows Ron. Yeah, this was a tweet with Ron Howard's daughter, Bryce Dallas Howard, with soon to blow up star Chris Pratt. As you can see, the proud dad is capturing the moment that the two first met. Then he reveals that they are both going to be in the upcoming Jurassic World. Howard actually misspells Jurassic. But breaking news can be tough sometimes. Since Pratt has been in talks since November, it's a safe bet that this is probably true. Jurassic World is set to hit around 12th of June 2015. Very interesting thing about Jurassic World, we actually saw a clip from it at Star Wars Celebration. Which was an early preliminary thing which they wanted to show Steven Spielberg, which showed like surfers on a beach, and this pterodactyl came down and grabbed one and flew off and threw it to like its mate, who then flew off to a mountain presumably to feed the young.
That sounds like a Carmen Electra movie or a Sharknado type.
It kind of does, but it looked really good. It was really good, and it was very dynamic. The camera angle as the birds flew and stuff was mad, and the way it just. So you know what? Yeah, let's just say we're kind of excited about that. Third Planet of the Apes movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Helmer Matt Reeves will be returning for another entry in the sci-fi series, with negotiations are going on for him to pen the script along with Mark Bomback. We now have a release date for the untitled sequel of July 29, 2016. There's currently no other films shock horror scheduled for release on that day. The story is a growing nation of genetically evolved apes led by Caesar is threatened by a band of human survivors of the devastating virus unleashed a decade earlier. They reach a fragile peace, but it proves very short-lived as both sides are brought to the brink of war that will determine who will emerge as Earth's dominant species. Yeah, I mean, we haven't even seen the second Planet of the Apes yet, so it's hard to get excited or anything about this yet, isn't it?
Hang on, that is the third one, isn't it?
Yeah, they're talking about the third one.
Yes, and then there's going to be a fourth the year after, or 2 years later.
The second one's coming this summer.
That's the third one, isn't it?
No, it's the second one. We've only had Dawn of the Planet of the Apes so far.
Am I thinking of something different?
Or Rise of the Planet of the Apes we've had.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is coming.
But Rise of the Planet of the Apes wasn't a sequel to the Mark Wahlberg one, was it?
Oh God,
no. But it kind of wasn't it loosely.
No.
Was it a standalone?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a whole reboot.
Was that just one whole movie where they ended up in the treehouse at the very end? That wasn't 2 movies. Wow, I've slept.
Luke Evans, this will interest you. Luke Evans talks about the Crow reboot. Evans has previously spoken about the upcoming reboot of The Crow, being loyal to the original comic book, and in a recent interview with Red Carpet News, he restates that his case that the film will be loyal to the source material and not a remake of the 1994 film which starred Brandon Lee. Well, we just want it to be as authentic and loyal to the original comic as possible. That means the story will be different. It'll be different from what people are expecting. It's not about ripping off the Brandon Lee movie. That stands alone as a brilliant piece of cult film and a great performance. We're going back to the book, the original book, and that's exciting because we're bringing to the screen a lot of the parts of the stories that were never really told. So yeah, it's our chance to do it and to do it differently, but to be as loyal, respectful to the original story as we possibly can. When asked how he felt about putting on the iconic makeup for the film, Evans responded, "It'll be interesting, won't it? Blah blah blah." Okay, James O'Barr apparently is going to be a consultant in this movie.
That makes me feel more secure.
Okay, why?
Because anything related to The Crow that has not had him in it, apart from the Brandon Lee one, which he kind of loosely, he gave his blessing for that movie, has been crap.
Okay.
He also gave his blessing for the TV series that starred Mark Dacascos, and it was good. The Crow Stairway to Heaven. It was a bit like Smallville,
okay,
The Crow, but it was okay. But all of the movie sequels and the reboots and the remakes or whatever you want to call it have been really bad. Even, and apologies to the comic companies, some of the Crow comics haven't been good unless he's been involved in it.
Yeah,
the recent ones have been very good, and he's back.
Oh, he's been back with IDW, hasn't he?
Yeah,
recently,
he doesn't do interviews.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Part of me is looking forward to this because I hope it will be good, and it will be. It's a I don't know what the term they'll use. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot. It's like a reimagining. Another first one. In this one, the other Crow films will not have happened. It's just